get ready for some specific targets for the upcoming week. Hello Adrian, and welcome back once again for another episode of the Dang Oracle. It's 7:30 p.m. and we are in 7:30 p.m. and UTC plus 8 zone. So welcome everybody who is watching around the world, wherever you guys are. Hope you are doing well, and hope you are having a wonderful Sunday evening as well. It's the last day of rest, peace, and silence until, yes, hell is going to be breaking loose. Hell is going to be unleashed upon us, and we are going to make some paper. Well, paper, maybe some digital money. Not paper, not real paper. Hi Adam, hi Alvin, hi Nikolai, hi Sandor, hi Lex, hi Cedric. Welcome. The hardcore crew is here tonight on a Sunday, getting ready for war for tomorrow, because yes, tomorrow morning it's D-Day. It's back open, baby. It's the trading is going to be back open, because yes, during this weekend, amazing, wonderful action happened, right? Wonderful action happened. We went sideways. And that's basically what usually always happens pretty much every weekend, right? Pretty much every weekend. Hi, I am Middleton85. Hi Jeremy, hi Darren, hi Henry, and Justus, of course, who is Monkol. Yes, of course, Monkol is here as well. We got our Gatorade, we got everybody here. So let's start with some COVID numbers to see if something else is going on. So we saw that India was breaking into the top 6 yesterday. Hi Gita. So the US, we are crossing the 1.9 million already now, near the 2 million cases right now. Brazil is the biggest problem case right now, almost near 700,000 right now. So it seems like the amount of infections in Brazil is really serious. India just got into the top 6 over Italy, and another South American country that is in big problem is Peru, almost close to 200,000 as well, as we can see. So while the European countries are actually getting better and slowing down, the South American countries are getting a lot worse right now. So let's take a look on our chart, what our total amount of cases is. Let's take a quick refresh, and we are at 6.6 million confirmed cases. We did have a little drop, as you can see here, a little drop down. So it seems like it is slowing down, but yeah. US still going up, but sloping down. Brazil as well, but something wrong with the numbers apparently again. Russia still not good. So UK, India is a very big problem, as you can see, very high, and Spain is sloping down. So yeah, like I said, most of the South American countries are the big issues now and the big problems right now, while the European countries seems to get a little bit better, and the US as well is well, not there just yet, but still is a little bit better, I guess. But overall, not that great. And definitely, yeah. Let's see what happens there in the South American countries. Very sad, of course. So yeah, let's immediately go back into our maybe let's go to some traditional markets first. Nasdaq, for example, we've seen and we've spoken about it. We broke all-time high. Yes, there's no issue at all. No issue at all with Nasdaq. We broke all-time high. Although this is kind of like the danger area, right? It can still go up a little bit higher or something like that, but at one point it's going to make that substantial retracement. I do think that we will get back to close to our support zone here at one point. I'm not saying that it's going to be immediately right now, but this zone seems to be, the key point zone. I'm not saying that we are gonna break it. I mean, not going up from it. Most likely we'll make higher highs. That's what it looks like at it. In fact, for the next coming couple of months. But yeah, I do expect us to get down there maybe a little bit sooner than we are expecting. maybe in the next couple of weeks, maybe end of the month or something like that, I do expect us to get a retracement. And when that happens, obviously Bitcoin is going to be doing pretty much the same, right? The same for the S&P. I do believe that most likely we'll get there, you know, get towards the top, towards the previous all-time high once again. It looks very, very good, very, very solid. As you can see how we closed the week before as well, and everything is, you know, above all moving averages or something like that. So it looks very strong. It looks very strong. So when Big Daddy is doing this, then of course a little baby Bitcoin is most likely going to be following, but a little bit in a less strong way. Let's put it like that. Well, the good thing about Bitcoin moving sideways like this for the last couple of days is, of course, for altcoins. Bitcoin dominance has been going down, so altcoins have been doing pretty well the last couple of days, actually, because Bitcoin is going sideways. Same for what we are going to be expecting for traditional markets, right? When traditional markets are moving up really, really fast, Bitcoin is moving up, but most of the times a little bit slower, because I can kind of consider Bitcoin like an altcoin from the traditional stock market. That's how I view things. But when traditional markets are going more sideways, actually Bitcoin is doing the same what an altcoin does, is doing really, really well. And when the traditional markets pull back down, then Bitcoin pulls back down as well, as we know. But anyways, so what did we talk about yesterday? Well, I told you guys I don't think a lot of action is going to be happening, and most likely we'll be just ranging between those two magical green boxes that we've been ranging in between the 3rd and the 4th. Since the 3rd of June. It's been 4 days already, and I've told you guys, right, very little to be doing, because as long as we don't get resolution out of this two green boxes, it's very little that we can do. However, we cannot be ranging sideways like this for a very long time. You know how Bitcoin is. Bitcoin likes to be moving. So what this gives us is actually a really, really nice opportunity to be putting out some targets and some positions for tomorrow. So what am I looking at is actually pretty simple. We are looking at this. We are looking at this candle right here. One second, let me move here. So we are looking at this candle right here, which is basically our two green boxes, right? So tomorrow, if I'm seeing that we are breaking the top side, so this side here at 9.9, somewhere around there, 9.9, I do expect us to be taking that step towards the upper green box, towards like the 10.4, 10.5K area or something like that. Now it's a little bit higher because we are actually in a channel, right? So that's the trade that I'm going to be taking. If tomorrow, if CME and the market starts to open and we get some movements, that will be the long that I'll be taking. However, we can see here the downside of this candle as well, which is currently at around 9,418. What is it? Let's say 9,415. Well, then most likely I will be expecting a pullback down towards this EMA 55 here, around the 8.9K, which is somewhere that we've spoken before already. Our bottom of this channel. So one of the two moves is what I'm expecting over the next week, basically, but I have a feeling that it's going to be quicker than that we were expecting. So maybe already on Monday or Tuesday. That's basically what the volume profile or the HVP is kind of mentioning to us. So that will be the trade that I'll be taking. Whatever the move is, I'll just be patiently waiting for one of those two things to happen, and then enter my trade. So you already know it. You already know what I'm going to be doing. So there's hopefully no mysteries or no questions anymore there. So if people asking me, well, is the price now going to be going up or going to be down? Well, the probabilities are still higher that we are going up rather than down, of course, because yesterday, once again, we closed above the EMA 21 or above the yellow line. And as long as we keep doing that, at one point we are going to be breaking upwards rather than downwards, of course. But once we start, this is starting to become showing to in the market a lot more weakness, that I'm seeing right now. And I do believe that although the probabilities is higher to the upside, one because we keep closing above it, I do believe that we are starting to see some short-term structure that is more bearish. So I'll show you why. So if we zoom out and we see on the 4-hour chart, I've already put the trend line here. So this is the trend line that we have been making, and it has always been held. But right now, as you can see, the 4-hour chart, the 4-hour candle has not been closed just yet, right? So it's not confirmed just yet. We are still above the EMA 55 or the green line right now. So, nothing is really confirmed just yet. But we still have around 20 minutes to, the bulls can still do something really crazy and push it back up once again, push it back up above the EMA 21 or the yellow line that's here. But this is starting to show a little bit more weakness, as you can see. This is some sort of like a triangle. You can see it here. 1 second. Some sort of a triangle that we can see here that is looking to be right now to be breaking towards the downside. But nothing has confirmed just yet. I will not enter a short or anything like that until I get my confirmation that that previous wick down is going to be broken, and then I'll be entering my short. So like I said, I want to see some confirmation first that this is going to be towards the downside rather than the upside just yet. So this is still in between my two green boxes, and as long as the price is in between my two green boxes, I will do absolutely nothing. Also because it's a Sunday, right? Because I'm not trading on the Sunday, and I don't think that any pricing is going to be breaking today. I do think tomorrow has a very high probability because CME markets is opening, and everything is going to be, everybody is going to be trading again. It's Monday, so Monday or Tuesday, I do believe that we will have a break in that structure, because as you can see, this is getting really tight also as well already, our triangle that we have been forming, right? And if we make a small measured move, of course we have to make a small measured move of this triangle, and if we break down, we can clearly see that we will be getting somewhere around here at first, which is breaking down below the second green box, and that will give me my confirmation basically that will most likely be heading back down lower, right? So that's what I'm waiting for right now, but there's still no confirmation just yet. Still have to wait a little bit. Like I said, things can move back up very quickly, but that's the reason why I am more tentative towards a short by the next week, because the short-term time frames are telling me that it's showing more a little bit of a weakness, but until it confirms and it breaks one of those two green boxes, I don't expect me to do anything at all. I'm just waiting for it to happen. Like I said, we do not control the market. Let the market decide and show you the direction rather than trying to play a crystal ball. Although this channel is called the Dang Oracle, it's more like a figure play or a play on words. Don't expect to hear future predictions or something like that. Well, can call it a little bit of a future predictions. When you are looking at probabilities, I can always say that it's higher probability, but probabilities are still probabilities. They don't really mean anything, except if you are playing a zero-sum game. Then of course, if you're basing that on game theory, then it becomes a tool that can offer you an edge, and that's basically what my trading style is about, right? Finding edges where in the long term I will be profitable as a trader. So that doesn't mean that I'll be correct all the time as well. But no trader can be correct all the time as well. If somebody is telling you that he is correct all the time, then he's probably a big liar. Let's put it like that. But all by all, so those are my short-term positions that I am thinking to be entering. I do believe that even if we break that back down towards this 8.9, 8.850 area, I do believe that we will have at least a small bounce back up. So I will definitely be trying to long switch it and back into a long when we get there, because like I said, overall macro, it still looks pretty bullish, and I do believe that even though if we are breaking down there, I still think that we'll be retesting the 10K area after. Do we break it once again? Maybe, but that is less of a certainty. Let's put it like that. But I do believe that we'll be going at least back to like, 9.8K or something like that. So maybe not the 10.4K. Maybe we do, but I do believe that we will get at least back to the 9.8K at least or something like that. Why? Because, well, we can be looking at our Wyckoff theory, and if we are looking at the first distribution schematic, we can see this. I believe that the 10.4K is our UT right now, and I've made that chart for you guys right here, as you can see, and I'll put this one next to it so you can see it properly, right? So this is what I think where we are at. We have our Psi, we have our BC, we have AR, we have a ST right here, we have our SOW or show of weakness, and we have our UT right here. And these are actually the two, I moved it a little bit. These are actually our important zones, right? So usually what happens after UT is we get a small bounce, and as you can see, a retest of just above our show of a weakness, or our two red lines here. And what do you know, if we do break down next week towards that area around here, where is that? Well, that is around the 8.9 or the 8.8K, right? The 8.9, 850-ish area, and that would match really, really well with our Wyckoff event, right? So if we do that, then it would match up with this, and then as you can see, it bounces back up, and then eventually either we go to an UTAD, which is a higher high. So my higher high is obviously our 11.5K that we've spoken about that before. 11.5K is most likely where, if we get a UTAD, is where we can go. But if we are looking at schematic number 2, schematic number 2 doesn't have a UTAD, it only has an LPSY, as you can see. So that can happen as well, that we just bounce near towards the resistance lines and then we break back down. So if that happens, then we have this situation here where the price just bounces back up towards this area and then slopes down and then breaks down from there. But I do overall believe that at one point, even if we get our UTAD, I do believe that we'll be getting back towards, like I said, a small bullish dump towards like 7.7K area, something like that over here. 7.5K makes a lot of sense because of our CME gap, of course. Let's go back into our CME gaps. Where is our CME chart? 1 second, CME chart. Yep, here we go. So we have a gap at 11.6 to 11.8, which is our 11.5K on the short on the spot price chart, right? So it makes sense. So maybe we will get our UTAD and fill that gap as well. And if we break back down and we have a small gap here at 7,600, which is coincidentally around the zone that we can fill as well when we go back down towards our 7.5K area, right? So I do believe that in this month we will most likely be filling out, or it doesn't have to be this month, but in the next coming months, let's put it like that, we most likely will be filling one of those two gaps, right? There's a third gap at like 3,500 something, but I don't want to be talking about that. That will make people a little bit too sad and too bearish. But maybe that one will never get filled, who knows. But just based on what I'm seeing, if it follows the Wyckoff distribution pattern, what I'm seeing right now, I do believe that most likely by next week we will be retesting, like I said, 8.8K, 8.9K, something like that. If not, we can still, immediately go up here and retest here and go towards our UTAD as well. I mean, it's not conclusive or anything like that. This could already be our pullback down from our Wyckoff chart as well already, right? So basically this is what it's saying. It doesn't have to be going down all the way towards our resistance, but for me it kind of makes sense that it does go down. As you can see, if we are looking at the 4 hour, as you can see, we've already made the measure moves from that. It kind of makes sense that if we break down below this green box here, that most likely will be going a leg down lower towards our support channel, or 8.8 or 8.9K. So those are the specific zones that I'm looking at, and definitely for the longer term. So two things. I know a lot of people are super incredibly bullish and are saying like we're going to be going to 14K, 20K, whatever they're saying. And I do believe if things work out, if for example Nasdaq keeps on pumping up, let's say we do this with Nasdaq. If we make a push and then here and then we make all a higher high like that, if we do something like that on Nasdaq, then yeah, Bitcoin is going towards 14k and beyond. To be honest, most likely go back to most likely go back to like 20k or something like that. Eventually, I'm not saying right now, or eventually. But for all the bulls out there, like I said, there's always a big bullish dump. Let's call it a bullish dump. There's always a big bullish dump that that shakes out the people, shakes out the longs, because if there's too many longs, then the liquidity is just there and people are going to be taking it. And if we take a look at the weekly chart, we can see that quite clearly as well, right? So what usually happens is if we go a little bit lower, we'll go something like this down here, then scare some longers out, then push back up, break back here, and then go back down like this, and then go to the moon like that, right? So that's something that is very, very possible. Other than that, when will I be very bearish, right? When will I be very bearish? Because we have to input that scenario as well, is when we start closing below the 7.5k. If we start closing below the 7.5k, it's very likely that we'll be breaking down towards this EMA 200 or moving average 200. So that will be around 5.8k, the higher 5,000 area, or this triangle. And if we break that, one, then we are looking at back towards our 3k area-ish, right? 3k area-ish. Well, not 3k area, 4k area-ish. If we are breaking down below, and then that continue that downward channel once again that we've been building for like a really long time already. But that's a little bit too far away. But just keep in mind that all of those scenarios are possible. And I know that a lot of people will be like, well, what is going to be happening? Well, as a trader, you should not really be focusing on what could be happening. You should just be trading on whatever happens, basically, right? So we have calculated and input all those scenarios, and then we just trade the direction of where the market is showing us. But for now, like I said, in the past 4 days, not taking any trades. If I would have been taking a trade, I've told you guys that as well on I think last week or something like that. I would just be long scalping this green box every time the price would be going back here, and then just close it when we enter this green box on the top here. And if you have done that, you've made that spread twice, right? Here one time, and then here another time once again. So that would have been the play to be making during this sideways ranging movement, because the risk was actually quite low as long as we are holding above the EMA 21, and then we had the weekend coming up with very low volume or something like that. But personally, I did not I did not play that move at all. I have already made this move and basically this move, so that was good enough for me for the month. But I am ready for tomorrow, and I hope you guys are ready as well. I'm more inclined right now towards the downside, like I said, because of this pattern right now that is being formed right now on the 4 hour. But like I said, it doesn't conclude anything. But if it starts closing, so we still have how many minutes? Around 5 minutes below the EMA 55. That kind of is going to be starting to confirm the pattern. So the EMA 55 right now is at 9,595, and the price is 9,590. So $5. Of course, $5 is nothing for this last 5 minutes. So let's take a look when the 12-hour candle closes and see how things go. Okay, maybe let's take a quick look at the VIX if something changes there. Yeah, VIX is still going down, so yeah, S&P is still going up. I mean, I'm just waiting for this falling wedge to be finally breaking. Gonna have to readjust this a little bit here. Yeah, I have to readjust this a little bit. So yeah, I'm waiting for this to be breaking, and then, you know, like I said, it will do something like this, boom, and that's when S&P basically is going to be, you know, making that small something like this, right? Yeah. So that's basically what I'm waiting for. But for now, it seems like it's continuation, as you can see. It seems like it's going to be heading back down more, and then this, something like that. And yeah, if that happens, then basically that will be the pullback of Bitcoin, as well as the traditional market, right? So because I think that it's quite delayed, or is still some time away, I really think that we will have a UTAD rather than a LPSY, because of the traditional markets. Traditional markets are saying that yeah, we're quite bullish, and then afterwards, when we hit that top, we're gonna have a small pullback, and then Bitcoin is going to make that small pullback as well of the 30 or the 40%. But I do believe that when we make that pullback, it will be it is a buying opportunity rather than a selling opportunity, right? So let me make that clear. Overall, it looks really good actually to be making you know, really substantial moves till the end of this year. So I'm still overall macro bullish, but crazier things have happened. And like I said, if we do not hold that 7.5k line and we start closing weekly candles below that, I would become pretty bearish. And then, you know, like I said, we are looking at 5.8k or even 4.4k or something like that. But like I said, that's still a long way to go. So, you know, we still have some time to be thinking about that. For now, do I think that we will have a very small $500-600 move to the downside? I do believe that we'll have that next week. That will be more towards, you know, to shake out the amount of longs that we are having right now. If we are looking at the amount of longs, let's take a quick look how many longs that we have. It's quite insane actually. So we have 73% long and 26% short. So that's quite insane, right? That's quite crazy. And I think we're gonna, yeah, it's confirming. It's kind of confirming now what I'm thinking, right? We'll have an RSI that's going to be low, but like I said, even if we go down towards like this towards this box here, the RSI is going to be very low and oversold, and then we're going to be bouncing up. So yeah, let's see how low we're going to go, but kind of feel like 8.9k area is like the place to go. Let's take a look at our Hearst, what our Hearsts are saying. Hearst is saying top of the cycle right now is as you can see 10,615 for a medium cycle top, and short cycle top is 10,046, and cycle bottom right now median is 9,068 and 9,170 for the short cycle bottom. So it's gonna go lower, of course, when the price is moving. So maybe it will be not 8.8, maybe people will be front running it a little bit and it's gonna be 9k or something like that. So somewhere around in that area, to be honest. But as we can see here, 7.5k is the medium cycle bottom as well, right? So kind of aligns with the targets that we are looking at for the moment. Okay. So, now we did close, as you can see, we did close above the EMA 21. That will mean that the yellow line, or the EMA 21, is going to be curling down and giving pressure towards the bearish side as well, right? So, but yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be doing anything until we got confirmation and we are getting below this 9,400 something price, and then aim for this EMA 55 for a bounce to the upside. Okay, so let's remove all that. But yeah, I still don't think that we'll be breaking any of these moves until tomorrow, most likely, though. So I wouldn't get your hopes up just yet. The problem is, like I said, during the weekend we have very low volume. Of course it can happen. I'm not saying that it can't happen. It can happen, but usually, we'll have to be patient, and most likely it will only happen during the actual trading day where we get like some confirmation or something like that. But like I said, I'm more pointing towards a bearish short term, very short term, rather than a bullish. But it's more for just to be shaking off all these longs, because there's just too many longs right now. So yeah, that's basically it. So let's take a look at the expected moves, because now that we're here. So expected moves, well, top side would be around 9,800, let's say 9,900, and the bottom side would be around 9,400, something like that. That's what I'm still expecting for the past 4 days already. But at least we are starting, like I said, it's starting to show more and more structure right now. So it's giving more and more direction on where it wants to be going in the short term. So let's take a look at the EMX expected move charts. Expected move charts. Let's take a look. Expected move charts. So the top side first standing deviation is actually quite low, 9,787 only, and the bottom side is 9,311. And as you can see, it's curling a little bit to the downside, so the probabilities are higher that we are going to the downside. What is very important as well, 12-hour HVP is flashing yellow. Yes, guys, flashing yellow. So yeah, in the next 12 hours, right, guys? Money time in the next 12 hours. What did I tell you? When the CME market tomorrow morning is going to be opening, hell is going to break loose, and we're going to have some volatility. I mean, everything is lining up, right? Everything is lining up. Like I said, everything is lining up. As you can see here, RSI is still below the EMA as well, and we are going to cross up only when we are reaching above 9,674. So yeah, that 9,900 is probably too low if we are looking at the RSI like that. So maybe if you are a more aggressive trader, you can start longing already at like 9,850 or something like that, $50 lower, something like that. That would be what I would be thinking if I would be entering a long position. But right now everything is pointing more towards the downside than the upside, right? Wait, I forgot to check the 12-hour Stokes. What about Tezos? I don't really care about Tezos, but I'll take a look after I'm done with Bitcoin. Yeah, 12-hour Stokes are curling down. That is very powerful. So yeah, definitely biased towards the downside. Is way higher right now after I'm seeing that. Let's take a look on the daily. What is the daily Stokes are saying? Daily Stokes are curling down as well. Daily is confirming it, curling down. And let's take a look on here. Yeah, RSI is still below the EMA, and it will only cross up at the 9,733. So yeah, our 9,750 area. So yeah, that kind of confirms a lot of things for today. Let's take a look on the 4-hour charts. 4-hour, as we can see, wow, dropping down quite very fast. Drop down very fast. So I do believe that we need some sort of like a small pull up, and then tomorrow in the morning, at least later tonight, breaking down lower. HVP is, yes, flashing on the 4-hour as well, so things might be a little bit quicker than we expect. But if the 12-hour is flashing, I do believe in the next within the next 12 hours basically is where we're going to see some action. So yeah, that's good. So RSI is in the bearish zone, but it's pushing back up. So yeah, we have some time to be breathing until the actual move is going to be happening. So I really hope that we get back a little bit higher, so I can I can prepare myself a little bit better by tomorrow. But yeah, right now this is showing that we most likely will get that pullback that we've been talking about for the past 4 days or something like that. Nothing is still confirmed yet, right? Never count Bitcoin out. But as you can see, that's where my short-term bias is. I'm not completely bearish at all or anything like that. I do believe that once we get to back, we go to this zone, we still bounce back up or anything like that. So I wouldn't be too bearish about it. So yeah. I think that covered the whole Bitcoin as well, right? That covered the whole Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Tezos, because somebody cares about Tezos. Let's take a look at Tezos. 1 second. Let me make a new chart. Duplicate this one. Move this one down. Let's take a look on Tezos. So let's move all this. Tezos. Let's take a look on Tezos versus Bitcoin on which Binance. Let's take a look on Binance. Okay, let's take a look on Binance. On the daily, it's just daily just broke. It's just broke actually the EMA 21, but it's still supporting and holding the EMA 55. So. Where's the momentum going? Let's see. Let's take a look. RSI is going down. Yeah, I think it's going to be well, if Bitcoin is going to take what I'm expecting, if Bitcoin is going to make a pullback down to that area, I think Tesla is going to make that pullback down as well. So I think it's going to take a dump together with Bitcoin as well. Where does that the next support area level? Well, I would be looking at this this area, to be honest. This area, but most likely it's gonna make a push like this, something like this. Yeah, something like that. I'm expecting. Like I said, if Bitcoin is if I'm right, I'm not sure yet if Bitcoin is gonna make that dump. But if Bitcoin is going to make that dump, then I do believe that this is gonna make that dump as well. And we're looking at but. This is quite substantial amount of support though, so that's the good part. We have quite substantial amount of support on this level right here, right? This is quite substantial support, but if Bitcoin is making that dump, I don't think it's gonna be holding, and then we have basically a sort of a gap in between this one. So yeah, I'll stick with my thought. I think that we're gonna be dropping back down towards this area here, like the 2,705 satoshis or something like that. That's what I would be expecting. If not, we would be looking at a push up towards this area here, our previous top, where we would be looking at somewhere around 3,190 satoshis or something like that. But yeah. I don't think it will. It looks good, to be honest, but it's still holding the EMA 55, which is a good thing. I would be looking at that if we are breaking below it or above it or holding it by tomorrow. If it still holds by tomorrow, most likely more sideways or something like that. But I do believe it's going down. Yeah, I do believe it's going down rather than up. But overall, I don't think this is a bad chart, right? Let's see Tezos on the weekly, because I always check it on the weekly. Oh, this is actually quite good. Yeah, it's one of the better charts, altcoin charts for sure. But the weekly, this one is starting to form, and if it goes back lower, as you can see, if it goes back lower, it's going to be forming a shooting star. So that's not good. That's actually quite bad. So by tomorrow, if this pushes a little bit lower and makes a shooting star, I do expect that we'll be definitely going back towards this EMA 21 or the 2,688 satoshis, as you can see. But this makes a lot of sense that we go back down to this area. Yeah, that's my opinion. But I don't really trade altcoins, so I know a lot of people are asking me about altcoins all the time. It's not my specialty. I'll most likely be always be telling you guys that you should be selling your altcoins. That's basically what I'm always doing, because the charts usually looks horrible. But to be honest, in this case, this doesn't look like a horrible chart for an altcoin. This is actually one of the better altcoin charts that I've been checking for the last couple of charts that we've been looking at. My thoughts on the stock ticker gold. What's the stock ticker gold? Adam, what's you mean gold, or you mean, or what stock ticker do you mean, or what is it? Is a company called Gold or something? What my trading desktop look like? I have two screens. What is the size? I think it's 32 or 33 inch wide screens. One second, let me check it. So I have I have two 34-inch ultra wide curve screens, Nikolai. So I have two of those, and I split it into four screens basically. So one wide screen is basically two screens, and and so basically I have four screens. So you can either use four screens, but I have two screens. Do I game with that? I don't have time to be playing video games anymore. Of course, I used to be a pro gamer before, so I was playing a lot, but no, sadly enough, no. But I'm thinking about it, to be to be installing some games, and at one point maybe try to play a little bit. But yeah, right now, no. I don't have time. When I have free time, I either spend it with my family, obviously, because I just turned and I just became a father. So I do try to spend all my free time with either my family. But if I don't have, if I'm working, I read a lot. I do a lot of research. That's where basically I spend like 12 to 14 hours between in front of my computer. So the rest of the time I try to spend it on family or reading on my iPad or something like that. Barrick Gold Corp on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, let me check. How is fatherhood treating you, Alvin? Let's take a look here. Barrick Gold Corporation. Oh, okay. Looks like a retracement going right now, but would I be very bearish about it? I wouldn't be very bearish about it. This looks like a bounce on the EMA 21, but the support is not that great, to be honest. I would be waiting for another week or something like that. I would be waiting another week to see if this holds. But right now, as you can see, the slope is starting to slow down to the downside. So if I would just wait it out and take the opportunity to buy at this zone here. That's what I would be doing personally, because I do think that even though this looks like some sort of momentum that we can go, I think it's going to do something like this, where maybe a little bit higher, right? Where I think you will have the opportunity to be buying at this liquid zone here. I think it's just a matter of being patient. But does it look bearish? I don't think it looks bearish at all. But I do believe that you most likely will have some more time to wait it out and buy. Well, maybe not this green box here. If it's more bullish, I would say like this blue line here, the moving average 21, kind of have to look at on a shorter term. One second, let me take a look. Yeah, I think it's not going to be that low, to be honest. Let's take a look on a daily basis. Yeah, I would on the daily here around this purple line, the EMA 200, between the EMA 200 and the MA 100, 200, sorry, somewhere there. Let me take a look. Yeah, it's already curling down. So I think we'll have a push off this EMA 100, most likely somewhere here because we have a bearish cross here, somewhere here towards 24.5 or something like that, and then most likely we'll have a continuation towards the downside. So I would be interested around the 20-ish area. Yeah, 20-ish area. That's where I would be interested in this. But it looks quite constructive. It doesn't look that bad or anything like that. So yeah, but I still think that there will be some continuation, definitely with this EMA 21 sloping more to the downside. Excited every day but don't have time for anything. Yeah. Well, I also try to be a hands-on dad, of course, because it's my firstborn. It's my firstborn. But yeah, I have a lot of support. That's where I'm very blessed. I have a full-time nurse-based private nurse who basically takes care, so I can do my work, or else I wouldn't be able to do any work at all. I can't imagine, Alvin. And my wife is doing insanely amount of work as well, because not only is she recovering from the pregnancy, her body has to be recovering. She's also, you know, on a daily basis doing graphical works, as you can see the thumbnails that she's making for me on a daily basis, and this and that. So, and she's breastfeeding the baby as well, so every 2-3 hours she has to be giving giving milk as well. So yeah. Hi Clark. Yeah, I've been a full-time trader for pretty much the last 4 or 5 years, something like that. Full-time trader. But that doesn't mean that I don't have other things ongoing. I'm like a leprechaun. I have a lot of things going ongoing. A lot less now because of the lockdown. Because to be honest, if the COVID situation didn't happen, or the lockdown didn't happen, then I would never be doing this. I would have never had the time to be doing this on a daily basis or anything like that. The only reason I'm doing this is because I got bored, and I said, like, okay, I need to do something on a daily basis that give me some structure, or else I'll just go crazy. That's just how my brain works. And yeah, so I thought, like, okay, let's see if there are people who are interested in this kind of stuff. And then yeah, it kind of blew up from there. Let's put it like that. But yeah. I have several companies that I'm running, and co-founder of several companies. So yeah, I'm advisor for several projects as well. So a lot of stuff. I also work for Belgian government as well, so as an advisor. So a lot of things that are that I'm doing aside from just trading. But where do I make my money from? Where the money that I'm making from to buy diapers is basically from trading, and that has always been the case. And that's also the reason why I'm able to just do this on a daily basis without like asking you guys for, like, hey, please send me some tips, or please click on this affiliate link, or sponsorship, or this is my sponsor, or something like that. I don't have to do it. I don't care. And that's also gives me the privilege to basically say what the fuck I want on this channel as well, because, well, if you don't like it, whatever. I don't really care. To be honest, I don't really care. And that basically sets me apart from most other channels, let's put it like that. They always put like advertising, sponsors, and wanting people to be clicking on it, and you know, asking for buy my program, buy my technical analysis program, buy my indicator, buy this, buy that. So yeah, I don't care. Yeah, you like it, you don't like it, don't really care. You don't like my opinion, that's good for you. I mean, and if you want to give your own opinion, then, you know, create your own channel. I have no idea what I'm going. Monko, I have no idea what I'm gonna do after the lockdown or anything like that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm quite a busy person and normally, but I still trade, or I'm still in front of my computer 12 to 14 hours a day. Can I take some time from it to stream an hour a day? Most likely, I can still do it. Maybe I'll put it on a different time frame or something like that. That's possible as well. We'll see how it goes. I'm not too concerned about it as well. I've been trading for like I think close to 5 years, Clark. Close to 5 years, something like that. 4 to 5 years. I could be wrong by 6 months or something like that. Something like that. Yeah. What will happen to the hardcore crew? I don't know. I'm pretty sure you'll find another channel, or you'll find another place to be enjoying yourself. You don't have to be so concerned about it. Okay. So we've went through basically all the requests as well for today. That is amazing. But yeah, that's what I like to do. That's what I like to do with everybody around here. Like I said, I'm very open. You can ask me pretty much everything what you want to know, because I really hate it that people think that traders are some sort of like mystical creatures or something like that. The best traders, they don't sell anything. Because why? Because they make their own money, right? I see a lot of people like, wow, this guy must be so good or something like that. Well, if he's asking for you to pay him something or pay money or selling something, he's probably not that good. He's probably not that good. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But everybody, I mean, I'm not judging anybody. You know, everybody has to make has their own way to make money. But like I said, this is not where I make my money from. I mean, my channel is not where I don't make any money I don't make money at all from my channel. I'm just putting effort and time into it. The only thing that I'm asking is that the community just acts accordingly and joins for the ride and asks me questions, and there's interactions, and there's not stupid questions like hate. I mean, stupid questions. I mean, with hate questions, right? You suck, blah blah. That kind of, that kind of attitude or talk. It's just that's what I just hate about the bigger channels. Let's put it like that. You always have these people that always have an opinion and are not open-minded or don't really understand what they're doing, and that just creates hate. And hate is not good. Hate is definitely not good, and there's so many bad things already going on in the world, so why would you waste your time to create even more negativity? So that's what I'm trying to do, just create some positivity. If people are learning something from it, I feel that's great. That's if just the one or two people learn something extra from me, I mean, I'm happy for that. What would I recommend for a newbie to start TA? Well, that's how I start. I learned everything by myself as well, right? So it's not like I had a magical teacher or anything like that. I learned everything myself. So from scratch, from start, I knew nothing, absolutely zero from trading. I knew absolutely zero from stocks, crypto, or anything like that. So what I just can recommend is there's so much information right now on the internet. So much information, and how I started was by reading books. That's how I started, actually. So I started reading some books, and then I started watching some videos and some guides, and then started trading. That's it. No, John, I'm not saying that this daily stream is temporary until COVID is gone. I haven't said that. I said that I haven't decided just yet. It all depends on my work schedule. It all depends on my work. Of course, Nikolai, I've lost a ton of money before, and I lost 100 bitcoins before. That was my biggest loss until I started my fund. When I started my fund, Yeah, it's nearing that zone, right? But it's still holding up. That was yeah. How much is 100 bitcoins? That's like close to a million, right? Is that it's $1 million? I have no idea anymore what 100 bitcoins is. 10, let's say it's $10,000. Yeah. So yeah, I lost. My biggest loss was $1 million before. $1 million. That was before I started my fund. When I started my fund, I lost way more, way more than $1 million. So when I started my fund, I lost a lot, but I also made a lot. So it all adds up. Hi Tina. How long does it take to become a profitable trader? Well, there's two key points, right? One is how much time and effort do you put in it, right? Some people learn faster, some people learn slower. Most of the people that I know that started out trading become profitable traders around the 1 year mark. But it all depends on how much effort and time you put into it as well. The quickest people that I know that become profitable traders are 6 to 8 months. But still, yeah. So don't be too sad if you're not profitable in 2-3 months or something like that. It's quite normal. Or you're not stable, let's put it like that, because like I said, you will always have losing periods, you will always have winning periods, blah blah blah, so on. It's all in the long run, right? Alvin, the indicators that I'm showing you on a daily basis, basically those are the ones that I use all the time. So how did I, when I lost, if I don't know, man, I don't know, I'm kind of used to that. I mean, at one point, what I care about is not the loss. It was more about how did I make the right decision, or how did I put myself into that situation where I made that loss. That was way more important for me than the actual loss. To get over the loss, the money loss, the monetary loss, I'm quite quick with that. It takes me a couple of days. I'll be sad about it. I'll go cry on my wife's shoulder, and it'll be okay. That's basically it. But what bugs me more, and I had that for close to I think 2 or 3 weeks. What I was annoyed is how did I get into that situation where I lost it, right? How did I end up making that mistake, or this and that, or was it the right move, or this and that? The actual strategy behind it was way more important to me, and that stick with me for 2-3 weeks before I mentally got over it or something like that. But the monetary loss, you make some, you lose some, you make some. That's how I always think at it. The most important indicators, the most important indicators that I'm using is so the first one, the Stokes that I always look at, that gives me the momentum. The RSI, that gives me a lot of indication as well. So RSI and Stokes, those are probably my two most used indicators. Yep, I saw. I'm watching it right now. Played it 9460 right now, but 9460 is still above the EMA 21 on the daily. So as long as that holds, I'm not that concerned, to be honest. Oh, I mean, I make losers. I like I said, and there's nobody who's always making money. Trust me, nobody. But like I said, making mistakes there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. Keep making the same mistakes. That's where the problem is, and that's where a lot of people don't reflect at. when they are making a mistake, or they were wrong and they lost some money, instead of like focusing on getting better, or instead of focusing on correcting that mistake, they just focus on negativity, or on or dispatching it. Though, like, well, that kind of attitude, but that doesn't help either. So it, like I said, the monetary loss wasn't that important for me, but the strategy behind it, and that's when I fixed that strategy behind it, and then I became a way better trader after. But I was a horrible trader when I started as well. I mean, I think that's normal. I don't know why people think that you immediately can become like a super good trader or something like that. It's like, well, it's the same as like a cook, right? You start out as a cook, and there are a lot of cooks chefs that are amazing, right? But it takes, how long does it take for them to become amazing? It takes a really long time. It's the same thing with trading. It takes a long time. And to be honest, I don't even consider myself as like a super trader at all or something like that. There are way more other traders that are way better than me. I mean, I'm pretty confident, and I'm pretty honest up front with that as well. But like I said, you don't need to be a superstar in the team to be making money, or substantial amount of money. And also it depends on how much money do you want to make to be feeling happiness. Happiness is way more important than and everybody, that's different for everybody, right? If you make for some people, when they've made their first million, they jumped for joy. Then that's great. When for others, that's not that big, right? Common mistakes. Oh yeah, a lot of common mistakes. I think the biggest mistakes are twofold. Overtrading is a very big problem. Like I said, the last 4 days I didn't take any trade, right? And for some people, that can be very annoying. For some people, they're like, but you keep looking at charts for 12 to 14 hours, but you don't do anything with it. Well, no position is actually a position. It's a zero position. That's how you have to look at it. You don't lose money, but you also don't make money. Yeah, overtrading is a very big mistake. And then risk management, right? You're just putting yourself into positions where you're just too high leveraged, or too big amounts in terms of your balance. When I see people going like 50x on like half of their balance or something like that, I mean, sure, it's like gambling for me. That's gambling, like, there's no way you can consistently be profitable as a trader in the long run with that type of strategy. There's nobody in the world that can tell me that when he's trading 50x leverage that he is consistently, I'm talking over like a year or something like that, profitable. If any trader that is doing that, I will worship him as a god, but it's not possible. So yeah, those are actually the two most common things. Overtrading and not carrying enough risk management, as it like, not putting yourself correctly in position or spots with the right amount of money. When you don't have the money, you don't trade that amount of money as well. Remember this, nobody gets rich instantly. There's just, there's no work or no job in the world that makes you instantly rich. Even if you have the highest paid job in the world, it doesn't make you instantly rich. It takes a lot of work and dedication, and that's what a lot of people don't understand as well. Like I said, a cook doesn't become a great chef by just magically finding some recipe and becoming a master chef. Even if you know the recipe, even if you know all the ingredients that you have to put in, it takes a lot of skill and dedication before you can cook that dish perfectly or great. So having the tools is one thing, but having the work ethics and the dedication is something different. Yes, Nikolai. I know. I understand the thrill. I understand the thrill. I understand all of that. But it's just something I don't do. That's just how I've always been. I've always been very, but I'm a little chicken. That's what I always say as well. People think I sometimes I take really big positions, but if you are looking at it in the global and the macro scale, it's still not really high risk or anything like that, right? But yeah, those are actually the two most common things, and a lot of people are not tracking things properly as well. Yeah, so all your trades, you should be documenting it and rewatching, and not only your winning trades, because that's what I see also a lot of times. People just document their winning trades. Prashant, is BTC about to boom? Maybe, but I would just well, 11.5k seems probable. Like I said, probable 11.5k, but it has to be happening in the next couple of weeks, let's put it like that, or else we're probably gonna be going back down another leg once again. But yeah, like I said, I don't really care about that. What I care about is the big moves, and as a trader, you should be just anticipating and making big moves. You have a 100k spot position. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad to be buying right now. I mean, it's not bad if you. It depends on how long you're going to be investing in. If you're not trading it, I think it's fine. It's just fine. There's no issue or no problems with that. But I'm a trader, so my perspective is going to be always pretty much different. Yes, Mongol. 25x. Yeah. Well, I hope you mean it, Mongol. That's also a problem that a lot of people are saying. They always say like, "Oh, I will never do it again," and then they do it again. Being honest towards yourself is another thing that is super important. You can lie to everybody to the rest of the world as long as you are honest towards yourself. If you're honest towards yourself, you'll reach a lot further in life. Recommendations for a newbie to buy BTC. I think you can buy pretty much Bitcoin now very easily everywhere. It depends on which country you're at, Intars. I don't know, but there's a lot of places where you can buy BTC on a very cheap, or not a cheap, a very safe way nowadays. You know, I remember before, that was like a really long time ago, when you had to go to like eBay and then make an appointment, and then there was some shady guy on the corner of the street that was said that was it was like he was like selling drugs, you know. He was like buying drugs in the corner and in the dark alley, and he was like saying, "Yeah, you want some BTC, bro?" That was how it was in the past. Nowadays, you just go online, use your Visa card, and you can buy some Bitcoins. You know, like, it's just I don't know what the big deal is. If you really want to buy Bitcoin, I don't think it's that hard. Just Google it, find some good reviews, find a place where there's a lot of people giving good reviews, and you'll be fine. Yes, Prashant. Well, let me tell you a really crazy story. So, around when Bitcoin started, like 10 years ago, a little bit. Well, not 10 years ago, like 9 years or something like that. I had this crazy friend, crazy friend of mine. He's like a very crazy guy. He was always on drugs, so he was high all the time, and he was always talking gibberish. He was always talking like the craziest, yeah, he was high. So one day he talked to me, and he was like, "Dude, you have to be buying this Bitcoin." And that was 9 years ago, right? So the guy was like, high on drugs, this and that, crazy, but he did buy Bitcoin. And at that time, I think he bought like around $10,000 or something like that in Bitcoin. And he said, dude, you just buy $1,000 of Bitcoin. Just put $1,000 of Bitcoin. And if I did that back at the day, imagine that $1,000 would be, I don't know, like 2,000 Bitcoins or something like that, something crazy if I listened to him. But he's like insanely rich right now. Rich and always super high and super crazy, and yeah, but he's set for life because while always be on drugs, he's super rich. That's how life changing sometimes things can be. I didn't listen to him because I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this Bitcoin? I never. I wish I started early enough, but I'm not one of those guys that were that lucky. But I know plenty of friends that were that crazy. But yeah, hard work does pay off. But like I said, it's all about being honest towards yourself. When I started and I wanted to be a pro gamer, like I said, I worked insanely hard. I played 12, 14 hours a day. My thumb were sore, my fingers were sore playing. I had this huge, I don't know how you call it from using the mouse, but it was like, like a brick stone here, because I was training so hard on a daily basis. But I didn't have the talent. And if you give everything you can, you can't have any regrets, and that's the most important thing. I never have any regrets with trying to become a pro gamer. I tried it. I did all the best that I could. I gave it my shot, and I didn't have the talent. Good. I moved on, and that's just being honest towards yourself. And I think that's very, very important as well. If you realize something and you said, okay, this is not for you, because not everybody is meant to be a NASA engineer. Not everybody is meant to be a heart surgeon. But if you truly are convicted and have a lot of you put a lot of effort into it, you can't regret it. And that's the most important thing I feel in life. You try something, if it doesn't work out and you gave it your all, then okay, fine. You just move on and you find something else until you find something that works for you. When did I first made my Bitcoin? I bought my first Bitcoin when the Bitcoin was like around $1,000. That was when I bought my first real Bitcoin. Let's put it like that. So one coin was $1,000. That was when I bought my first Bitcoin. I didn't buy much though. Like I invested like $500 or something like that. So I had like half a Bitcoin or something like that. And then that half a Bitcoin stayed there for forever. And then it went to, I don't know, like 15,000 or something like that, and then I sold it. So I never kept it as well. But yeah, it's really funny. But yeah, never really looked deep enough into crypto back at that time. So yeah, but then when you get deeper into it, when you learn stuff about it and you get more interested into it and you see the logic behind it, then things get better. And yeah, it's really interesting. At least this is my passion, right? This is my passion. So I wouldn't be able to do it if I didn't enjoy it that much. No, my high friend doesn't trade. He doesn't. He's just when I see his Facebook, he's always like just partying, enjoying the life, man. Enjoying the life. just partying every day. That's basically what he's doing. But I mean, everybody has his own thing, right? For me, I don't want to. I don't want to make money to be partying or anything like that. I've done that before when I was in my 20s, when I was young, and now I'm a father. I want to just be doing everything for my family. That's what my interest is in, long term. So yeah, and yeah, I always also never had that you know attitude where I have to be like buying all these luxury goods and showing off, or buying Lambos or anything like that. I've never had that interest as well. So I yeah, I'm quite okay. Yeah, my wife, however, she is well, she's a girl, right? So she loves all these classy brands and stuff like that. For her last birthday, I bought her like, I don't know, it was like 5 bags that I bought for her, and I think it was like close to $30,000 or something like that. Something crazy. It was her birthday, so she gets she gets all the gifts. Myself, I buy like, there's two things that I buy on a yearly basis. I buy the latest phone. So I just bought when the Samsung S20 Ultra came out. I bought that because I spend so much time on my phone, and I spend so much time on my computer. So those are actually the two things that I invest in for myself personally. My phone and my computer. That's basically it. Other than that, yeah, nothing else. Yeah, it's to show how much I love her. That's basically. But yeah, I mean, um, it all depends on what people enjoy doing, what you're working for. For me, it's to make my family happy, and to invest in the future of my family. That's basically the reason why I'm working so hard on a daily basis. First, to be a good example for my son, and maybe future daughter, if there's a second one, if she's still willing. My wife, after this one, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm not the kind of person that's like, who cares about what other people think so much about me. It's just not in me. And yeah, a stack of Gatorade, Starbucks. Maybe one day, you know, own my own Starbucks, and so I have a life supply of Starbucks coffee. I just wake up in the morning, and then I just go to my own Starbucks. I will say I open I open my own Starbucks, and get my own coffee in the morning. Maybe that's another dream that that I want to achieve. Your computer is about to get finished. Yeah. Um, to be honest, I wouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't be going for a brand. You should try to get the what's inside the computer is way more important than the brand of the computer. To be honest, Tina. And how do I know that? Well, I used to have my own computer shop, right? So I had actually had my own retail computer shop as well before. I've done a lot of things when I was younger. I've always had that entrepreneurship in my blood. So I had what did I have? I had a computer shop, video game shop, sandwich bar. Yeah, those are the stuff that I had before. I had my own import and export company. That was pretty big until I sold it. I had my retail online packaging distribution company, so that was pretty big as well. Sold it as well. What else? Advisory for online bank project. So I worked for like the top three, one of the top three biggest bank in Belgium, in Europe, and I was lead project manager for an online project for selling basically online bonds website that I created. I think it's still active until today. Actually, you can you can take a look at it as well. Very proud of that project as well, because it became really, really big in Belgium. So yeah, those are kind of things that I enjoy. But yeah, in terms of finances, I don't think anything matches trading. To be honest, that's where you can really make a substantial amount of money. Largest coffee bar in India. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Prashant, you'll be my best buddy. um Jeremy, I hate being employed. I am self-employed, and I've been self-employed. I've been my own boss for the past 20 years. That's basically it. I've been employed one time, and that was when I graduated. When I after university, I worked for a bank for a short term, for like a very short term, as an employee. I mean, and that was the only time, and I hated my life. I really hated my life. So yeah, I've always been an entrepreneur, to be honest. Yeah, I always wanted to be my own boss, to be able to be doing my own thing. The freedom that it gives you is just what I enjoy the most. But a lot of people don't understand that being an entrepreneur is way more risky than being an employee, right? Because when you're an employee, at the end of the month, you will get that salary. That's the amount that you can get. But also, the growth of that salary is going to be very, very little. There's a cap, and I hate caps. There's no walls. That's why my nickname is There's No Walls. I hate fucking walls, and yeah, I just want to be my own boss. So, but that doesn't mean that I'm lazy or anything like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I work way harder than most people that are employed. So that's the negative part. And I've been through all kinds of stages. When you are at a point where you become substantial, or let's say bigger in this industry, you'll have a lot more stress and a lot more responsibility, and that will then give you a lot of insomnia as well. So yeah, I had that problem before as well. So insomnia is a very big issue for me, actually. So there was a period where basically when I was sleeping, I was still thinking about work, basically, and I slept maybe like 2 or 3 hours a day, something like that, for quite a substantial amount of time, until I started seeing a sleep doctor, and that helped a lot. But yeah, there's, like I said, there's always some negative side, some dark side, that people don't realize or don't understand as well. So there's not everything is as great as people expect or as people think. But am I saying that I'm not blessed? Of course I'm super blessed. I mean, like I said, I come from like a village, a very poor village, where I was just basically pulling water out of the well for showering myself on a daily basis. From there until what I'm doing right now, just sitting in front of two big screens and looking at a chart. This is the life. For me, that's the life. This is life. I have a beautiful wife, an amazing, beautiful, handsome son. He looks like me, so he's very handsome. So yeah, life is good. Anyways, I'm ranting a little bit too much right now, but yeah, this is what I enjoy the most during the live streams, is interactivity with everybody around here, and to talk a little bit about everything. But let me wrap it up for tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be, well, even maybe a little bit later, but I do think that it's not going to be happening later. It's most likely going to be happening tomorrow around 6 a.m. I would be very, 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 very careful. When CME opens up, we have the pre-market move, and then at 8 o'clock we have the weekly candle close, the daily candle close, of course, but the weekly candle close is where the action is most likely going to be happening. And then where are we looking at? Well, I've talked to you guys already. If we are going below this wick here, I most likely will be going going down towards this area here where I'm thinking about shorting tomorrow, and most likely it will bounce around that area and entering a long around there. If we break up above this this price here, most likely we'll be heading up towards the 10.4k 10.5k area, so I'll be taking a long. So no matter, so this sideways movement is there's still nothing sure. Of course, I'm more biased towards the downside right now, as you can see on the short term, and we've been over all those indicators now. More biased to the downside, but that doesn't mean that the market can do something very crazy. Never count out Bitcoin. Let's put it like that. Never count out Bitcoin. But we have our perfect entry points and exit points. So that's what we're going to be trying to be doing, right? So I hope everybody is informed, everybody's ready, because it's definitely going to be an interesting week next week, right? So cheer up, get ready. Tomorrow is war, and I'll show it one more time before everybody gets hyped. Let's show it to you guys one more time. The HVP, when the chart is finally going to be loading. The HVP, yes, guys. HVP is flashing yellow. We are at 1 on the HVP. It's flashing yellow. We all know what that means. Do we all know what that means? We all know what that means. Let's get that paper. All right, guys. See you all guys tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8. Hope to see you again tomorrow, and we'll update on everything. Please like, share, comment, whatever you want to do on this channel. And until then, of course, please stay home, please stay safe, and stay COVID free.